Okay, let's start our call. As you guys know, I think the major roadblock for our implementation from this side is mUzima 194. I wonder if you guys got a chance to look at this ticket yet or not?
Yeah, Ida, I've been working on it from yesterday, and I have done quite a bit of reading up about it, but I'm really not sure how to fix it. So that's the reason I was asking, if we could have a quick call. But yeah, so I'm working on it actively since yesterday. I'm able to recreate this error, and I have the stack trace, and it's also being submitted to the crash reporting service. So asking a couple of questions for Win, and with some pointers, maybe we should see how we want to fix this or how we could fix this.
Okay, maybe it's good time to ask Wayne questions now since it's on.
Right. Hey, so when I was, so this is how I can reproduce or recreate the error. I'm not sure um, if this is the only way the error happens, but this is how I can consistently recreate it, right? So while and this I don't think is related to the deletion of concepts, because I think Ada has kind of put down the steps that on the Jira of how she got the error to occur, even without deleting any of the concepts. If I just go to a user and I download the observation and I quickly tab between looking at the observations by concepts and looking at the observations by encounters. I have to be very quick and like toggle between the two tabs and then quickly come back to clients, and I just click on the forms, I click on the observation. So it happens when you're really quick with the app and you don't allow the app to respond. So I think my guess is we are using Lucene to do some kind of indexing on the data on the device, and it's using a default indexer to search. And this search is basically not synchronized. So I think because of the synchronization, like for example, when you're looking at observations by concept and you quickly click on forms, that's a different index and it's looking into a different resource. But we haven't given the app enough time to actually close or complete what it was originally doing. So because basically you can't access the data through Lucene, which is why all the data like goes to zero, like zero patients, zero forms, and zero observations. I kind of looked into the code on the search API repo, and I looked at the default indexer code and how we are creating a new indexer. I see that it's like a single indexer that we create, and we always use that one for every search. And there was a comment over there which said that maybe we should think about synchronizing this in the future, or allowing each caller to have its own instance of the indexer. I tried that, but the app got really searcher, and it said that we should, so that we don't run into performance issues.
Sweetheart, I think we lost you. Hello?
Hey Wayne, I can hear you. I think it's Shweta's connection. Yeah, it's her connection.
Is this happening on the latest APK?
Yes, only on the latest APK. The one when I used the one in November 20th, I don't think I experienced that.
So that is another question that I'm not 100% sure that it's only happening on the latest APK. I feel I looked at the search API and nothing has changed in the search API. There previously, but we never got to test it. I haven't tested the app this way, like where I toggle between two tabs very quickly, and then I come back to patients, I click on observations, I click on forms. I'm basically like really hammering the app at that point of time. I've never tested it that way. So I'm not sure and haven't gotten back in time to see at which APK it started to happen. I haven't been able to narrow it down to, it wasn't there in this APK and it started in this APK. I know that it exists in the latest APK, but I'm not 100% sure that this problem wasn't there before. Maybe it's just that we became aware of it.
Sorry, actually, I think I remember now. It started with the APK published on November 19th and on. Before that, using the one published in October 5th, I did not experience that. So it's really the big gap. You remember, like there's a big gap between October 5th and the November 19th. It's almost like 6 weeks apart, I guess. There might be a lot of code changes in those two APKs.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I don't know, it could be because of the racing condition that Sweta mentioned. I'm trying to test it out.
So one thing I tried doing is, okay, I'm just going to try to share my screen, and I'm just going to show you the change I tried to do. I know it's not a good change, but with this change, I couldn't get the error to happen again, right?
Okay.
But it makes the app extremely slow. Like it almost took a good 5 to 10 seconds for the observations to actually show up on the screen. I don't think this is a violation, but at least it's giving us an idea of what could be causing the problem, or what kind of fix we should work towards. Just give me a second. I'm just going to try to share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So the create index searcher right here. So I was just looking at this comment in here. So what I tried to do is I actually allowed the caller to get a new index searcher every time. With that, I couldn't get the error to appear, and I continue to test the same way, in the sense that I was clicking between tabs and not allowing the data to get fully populated, and yeah, I was testing the same way, but I couldn't get the error to appear once I changed the implementation of create index searcher to return a new index searcher each time for each call. But like I said, the app got really slow. And the other fix I also tried is, I try to make this a synchronized call. Not sure if this is the place where it really makes a difference, but this is where I try to do this. But this didn't really help. I could see the error even after this.
Rita, I think it's because the gap. Oh well, you're changing. I think it's better to synchronize it on the default indexer when you try to get the index reader rather than here.
Saying, okay. So actually, I tried to make even this one. I tried it with the synchronize this particular method. I tried to make it a synchronized method, but that didn't help either. The only thing that really worked was this one, which is, like I said, not really a good thing because
Yeah,
where did I see? Because a note on index searcher says this. I kind of just found this note, and I think that that was the original idea with why it was not, why it was done the way it is now. I um, I just put something in the chat window.
Yeah. Yeah, creating the index. That's why the code try to reuse the index because creating one is very expensive. I think that's why it slowed down the read operation.
Yeah, and the other thing is with the solution of creating a new indexer for each caller, because every tap, for example, when if I tap to the forms, it spawns off a background task which kind of does a search for that forms for this patient ID, right? And for each thing, it will probably, am I correct in assuming that for each thing, it will create a new indexer? For each async task that we spawn off?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be creating a lot of them, and I'm not sure if that's a good idea because I don't know how it will affect the performance of the app. Oh, I'm sorry, what I really wanted to say is this part. For performance reasons, it's only recommended to open only one index searcher and use it for all of your searches. I got this from this.
Yeah. I think I was thinking synchronize would help because that would ask the other thread who tried to get the index searcher to block waiting for the first So if you submit two async tasks to the get
Yep.
index searcher.
I can't hear your voice is really muffled.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, but not really clearly. I can hear you, but I can't really. The voice is muffled up, so we can't really understand clearly. Maybe I'm going to try to mute.
Yeah, that's kind of strange though, because you would think the synchronize would block the second thread from accessing the get index. Or maybe the we should block it on the we should synchronize on the read operation. That wouldn't make sense. Is that the only one?
Synchronize. Is that the only?
Is that the
Can you
only
please
one?
repeat?
Isn't there another get method, I think, Sweta, to get the index searcher? Or no?
I know that they all implement the. What is this called?
Have you tried synchronize on the
Search
instance
provider.
itself? Sweta, could you try to synchronize on the index searcher instance?
On the index searcher itself. Okay. I'm just bringing up the index searcher class. Oh, sorry.
No, I mean in the default indexer. Have you tried to synchronize on the index searcher? Yeah, that one.
No, I haven't. I already tried in synchronizing this method because I thought the actual creation of the index searcher, like if there's one async call that's trying to get hold of the index searcher,
Mm-hmm.
and it uses the services of the index searcher and then it closes it. And because it's synchronized, if another, while it's using the index searcher, if another async call tries to create it, it would not be able to because it would be a synchronized thing and it will wait for the first thread and it
Yeah.
basically block it, right?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was
So this is what
thinking.
I mean, I'm just gonna. This is what I actually tried, but this didn't really fix the issue either. I could still get the error to happen even with this.
How about synchronize the try block? Well,
Oh, okay. You want to synchronize block? Okay. You synchronize this one. Okay. Sure. Let me just try that out and just get back to you. But I think, do you want me to do it right now on the call, or should I try
I
it out
think
and
we
get
can
back to you what works?
discuss it and then try it later.
Pardon me. I'm sorry, I lost you.
You can try it later, I think.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. I think Kumaran and Vikas have a couple of issues that are blocking them, and they would like to just talk about that. So I'm just going to hand it over to them while I try this out.
I'm in Vikas here. Actually, even this is regarding the registration process of a patient through the device. Uh, what we have done is we have uploaded the mUzima form into mUzima form module, and we have downloaded that registration form into the device, and we actually we are trying to register a new user, and it is started. It is giving some error like
the right unable to fetch right lock exception. So it's a Lucene unable to fetch right lock exception. So we aren't sure how to solve this issue. We reached out to you already on this, in Scrum a couple of days ago as well.
Yeah, I look at the JSON and the JSON seems to be correct, but I haven't got a chance to look at it.
actually even actually it's become a pretty much blocker for us for the fingerprint area. We are not able to register the user. We thought of we planned actually to include the fingerprint in registration form. That part we have already done. The only thing pending is we need to check the uploading the patient data into the OpenRS table. So it will be very helpful for us if you can walk through how the registration process is happening at the moment.
So I think the
The problem is
registration.
actually locally we don't have that OpenMRS registration form. So what I have done is I created the OpenMRS registration form first, form definition actually, but when I checked into database, it doesn't have any XML data in that particular in XML column.
Yeah, I think so. What we have right now in the registration side, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So what happened is we have this XForm format for the registration. Um, so, and then in the form module, we have a converter which will convert this XForm into the XML representation and then the JSON representation of the form. The payload expected in JSON and XML. And then the other part of this conversion is the UI, the HTML UI for the registration. That one is only for form with coming from XForm. For the HTML, we only have the HTML part. So there is no representation in JSON. There is no representation in XML. The HTML form will have a JavaScript which will collect all the data that you put into the form and then create a JSON structure out of it. And then when you fill a form for the registration, what happened right now is there's two steps. The first one is when you fill a form, the registration will create JSON representation. So whatever data you fill in the form will be put into a JSON structure. The problem with this JSON structure is it's so there's no structure in it, so it's really hard to process. The decision at the time was to convert this JSON into XML. So the XML representation for XForm have a better way because they have hierarchy. They group elements together, like the demographic information will be under patient, and then the encounter under encounter. So there's a step to convert this JSON to XML, and that this XML is what gets submitted to the server. That's the step for the registration form that we have, which come from the XForm, the old XForm.
In repository, we have two things. One is the registration.xml and registration.html at the moment. So if we want to create a new registration form for locally in our OpenMRS, so first we have to go to the X form, then create a new registration form, and then upload through the mUzima form module.
I think we're trying to move away from the XForm. So my recommendation is to use just regular HTML to create the registration form. But the problem that we have is there's a lot of processing around registration form that was put in the code, but I think it only handled the registration coming from XForm. So there's a lot of process that happen when you submit the registration form but it's only available on the XForm side processor in the apps. We don't have it in place, I think, for the HTML. Because there's two web view that we use in the apps. One is the HTML web view activity, I think. And then the other one is just web view activity. And then the HTML web view activity is connected to HTML data store, and then I forgot the other one. And the same goes for the web view activity. It's connected to another form data store, but there's a bit more work happening in this side of the web view. I think the problem is the processing happen based on the what is it called, discriminator. So if you use the same discriminator for your registration, then it will be handled by the normal web view, not the HTML web view. So what potentially happen is there is some processing happen in the XForm web view that is not implemented in the HTML web view. And then your form probably get handled by the XForm web view when it should be handled by the HTML web view.
Actually, when we are able to call that particular function, and we are getting that JSON payload also. I think Kumran has already sent you that JSON. So that data we are getting, and when we are calling that function, can I share my screen? So
Yes, please. So if you get to the JSON, so if the form is generating the correct JSON, what needs to happen next is the apps need to parse this JSON and create the temporary patient.
yes. So here it will call this save form data.
Mm-hmm.
Inside of it. So basically, since we are already assigning some UUID, it will always go. It is always going to the update function, and inside this function. No, sorry. So actually, when it's calling this function update objects, and this is the function which is throwing the exception.
So this is a REST issue.
Yeah, it's a REST service.
So when the update object of the REST assured service is called, here is when we get the maybe we get that lock exception.
So you're getting that lock over there.
The exception is being thrown, so I'm just trying to get that. Just give it.
Did you guys upload your form to the test server? I might be able to have a look at it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Fine. We'll upload this thing to the test server then. we have actually we have reverted all the changes that we did on the registration form to capture the fingerprint. So the only thing that is there in the whatever registration form whatever we are using is what is there in the GitHub repository only. We have not made any changes to the registration form while we are using it.
So this only happened to your registration form, not happening on the other form that you tried to save?
We tried with the other forms also. It's working with the other forms, if that's what you're asking.
Huh. That would be strange.
It seems like it's not working for the other forms also. I'm sorry.
Is it not working on the other form as well?
So just give us a minute. We'll try to fill up a form and show.
We share the screen.
Yeah. So when I hope you can see our screens now.
Yeah, okay, you can see it.
When we actually when this happens, and this is what the exception that we get. So whenever we try to save the form on the device, um, so you can see that it says org.apache lucene store lock obtained failed exception, lock obtained timeout. It's invariably happening on all of our for all of us and all of our machines actually. So since the form itself is not getting saved, so it's very difficult for us to figure out the submission or how the data is, however, whatever we want to proceed further with registering a new patient, we are not able to do.
And I think this is the same issue that even Derek was saying. I think he attached a couple of screenshots where he was unable to save some forms as well on 194. I think on the mUzima 194 on the Jira page. Just try to pick that up.
Is this happening to all forms?
The registration form, yes.
The registration form only?
Yeah.
Yes.
But not the other form?
Actually, I tested some oncology form a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday or a couple of days ago. I am not able to save it with the latest APK.
Okay. So, I mean, here is the question, right? Like, I know that what we're really struggling with is, since there are so many repositories, I'm not sure what versions of what is finally getting the form to work. Right now, we have the latest code on mUzima Android, mUzima API, as well as the search API. That's the configuration with which we are running.
and also OpenMRS mUzima forms, mUzima registration. Everything we have pulled the latest on from that is we have pulled the latest on what is the latest on the master of all the repositories from mUzima API app, OpenMRS mUzima registration, OpenMRS mUzima forms, and the form processor also the registration thing. So everywhere we pull the latest from the master branch of all the repositories, and yeah.
So when I know that you're usually build the APK and you're push it on Dropbox, is so? Can we? Is that how do all the builds on the APKs on the Dropbox have the latest build across all the repos?
The Dropbox is built from masters now, so I'm not building from 1.0 branch anymore.
So, Will, can you repeat that again, please?
The Dropbox is built from masters now.
Okay. So Dropbox is
Hey, Win, I think that's when the problem starts, actually. So when you use the fork it to get the from the master for the mUzima APK, it was stable. But once just use the master, that's when all these tiny things show up.
Yeah.
And for us, like we're not sure what we where to debug and where to start from. So that's a little bit of a hurdle that we're facing on our end.
Yeah, I'll try to work on this over the weekend, I think. I'm sorry I've been so unresponsive.
Oh no, that's fine when we understand. It's just that we're not sure how to fix it. I wish it was easy to fix. Then we wouldn't really be troubling you. We're sorry to trouble you as well. But I was quickly looking at mUzima 194 and I see that Derek Gruwande, I don't know if I'm saying it right, I'm sorry. But I think he's facing an issue where he's trying to save a form and it's not allowing him to save the form.
Yeah. It's so strange.
And I know it's been a little short on time, but I quickly implemented what you asked me to try out with this making the create index searcher method synchronized. So I'll just quickly show you that.
Okay. You think it's the teleconsultation APK?
I'm serious.
Yeah,
It's
because
really that one.
1.0 is pretty stable, I think.
Yep.
I want to share
So, Wayne, do you think having a feature to turn on and off the teleconsultation piece would help that then?
No, I don't think so either.
So that's another issue that I have is for the under the settings we said there's an option for the user to say that I'm the defaulted encounter provider. We continue to encounter the same problem that the provider name got injected into the system ID. So we cannot save the form as well.
Yeah, actually Vikas just got back today, so
Oh,
he's
okay.
probably going to look at it and get back to you on
Sure.
that. He's aware.
Yeah, so I think the major roadblock is really the 194 and also the latest APK issues and that provider thing. And so Shweta, do you get all the information you need to for the ticket to send the stat trace automatically? Is it working perfectly now?
Yeah, it's working. I've sent the link as well as the username and password. Were you guys able to see it?
Yeah, I was able to see it, yes.
Yeah, so okay. So I think there's still a couple of hiccups which I'm trying to work out, but it's not going to break the code. The worst case situation is you may not see the logs, but yeah, that's pretty bad. But it's working for me, but we have to really test it out.
Yeah. So my question
and what I could do is probably just able to yeah, go ahead, Ada.
Yeah. So my question is, under what scenario that it would automatically send the stat trace? For example, like is it only including crashing, or for example, like when I encounter saying that error in fetching the local from the local repo, would that also send the stat trace?
So how it would work is probably I would think the error from reading from the repo would only happen if there's really an exception inside the application. So it would send a trace of what caused that message to appear. So with that, I think, and we should be able to figure out what's happening.
Okay. So yeah, I think we need to include the information saying that, hey, in what, under what kind of situation that it would send the stat trace automatically, and under what other situation that the user should get a log file to file the tickets. That's what I'm trying to get.
Are you okay? Tell me if I understood you right. Are you saying that we need to document, or we need to be clear about what kind of situations would be reported automatically by the application, and what kind of errors would? Yeah. So I think anything which causes an exception, like like what we're seeing right now, those, and the other thing is implemented as a dialog box of some sort. But I saw a couple of applications, and it seems fair that I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I have issues and it prompts me like, do you want to send me a report? The person could choose not to, right? So this is actually happening silently in the background, but yeah, so whatever exception happens, it would be reported. But if you see an issue like maybe, the UI is looking really not awesome, or you're seeing some issues where the data is not scrolling fast or something of that sort, those kind of issues which only the user can see, and he feels like data is empty where it should have been like 100 observations. Those kind of issues would still have to be reported by the user. Then this would only take care of situations where the app itself ran into a situation where it could not recover, right? It crashes. So it will track these. But I think a lot of the time those are situations that we really need to fix, because those could turn into blockers.
Okay, so
as compared to something like data not loading.
So the user should expect. So whenever the user experience like a dialog box pop up to say any type of error, it would automatically send the stat trace. Is that a good assumption?
Yeah, if it crashes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've also uploaded a snapshot of how the dialog box would look on 1.9. I forget the name of the number of the Jira, but I've uploaded a small snapshot of that the user sees, and then I've also uploaded a snapshot of how the error got logged on Actualizer.
Cool.
So can I quickly jump to the other, what is this, because it takes some time for the emulator to come up as well. So we can always talk when I start downloading the thing. Is that okay?
Sure.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just trying to test with the win suggestion of. You guys can see my emulator?
Yes.
And that's the other thing here is there are so many forms. I'm not sure which one is the right one to use.
Yeah, we just did the
Are
test.
these
Yeah, the reason because we did a testing
okay?
a couple of days ago. That's why it has all these things.
And there was a question from Martin on 194 where he had a question about if the concept had observations associated, we shouldn't allow that concept to be deleted. And I think he had a comment that said that is that the way the functionality is right now? Can you guys think?
Yes,
So that is not the way.
so I
That is
think.
not the way we.
Go ahead.
So I think the ticket that originally was open for this was because the only way to delete a concept was do it one at a time. So it was mostly a UI change where the user could select multiple concepts and delete a whole bunch of them by just clicking the trash button once, right? So I've implemented that, but I didn't really change what happens when a concept gets deleted. And from the code, it looks like it's always been that if a concept is deleted, we delete all observations associated with the concept.
That's
But
correct.
looking at Martin's message, yeah,
Uh-huh.
but looking at Dr. Martin's, he seems to suggest that if a concept has observations associated with it, that concept should not be a deletable concept. Is that correct?
That's not correct. I think the team made the decision a while back that when by deleting the concept, it should also delete the concepts associated observations. If not, it's kind of like defeat the purpose why we add or remove concept, I guess. The concept pass through the form itself and then get the related observation and stuff like that. At that stage, you can remove concept one or more. But it does not make sense that, all the concept pretty much actually on the device, the reason that it's there usually associated with some kind of observation. That's why it got downloaded. Does it make sense? That's why we did not download the whole dictionary. We download only selected concepts.
Okay, I wish I'd asked you this question yesterday because I kind of jumped the gun on that one and I implemented it. I hadn't committed the code because I was going to check with you today. But right now, the way I made a change to the code, but don't worry, I've not committed it. I've only, like, let's say the user tries to delete 10 concepts, and out of the 10, two have observations associated with it, then the user will be notified that we deleted 8 concepts, but these 2 concepts, for example, weight and blood pressure, have observations associated with them and cannot be deleted. So they will not be removed from the list. That is what I've implemented, but it's good to know that you guys made a decision on that. So I'm not going to continue to work on that or spend time on that.
Yeah,
okay.
I can explain to him. Yeah.
Coming back to, can you guys see my emulator? So I'm just going to do a quick test.
Yes.
Okay. So you can see so I go really quick, right? This is the way I've been testing. So here the error. Can you see the error?
It's still on the page, the client summary page.
Did you see?
No, only the client summary page.
No? Oh. Okay, anyway, the error has happened and everything's gone to 0. And I'm just going to
Rita, I put something on the chat. I think I
Oh,
think
for
they're
some reason,
looking wrong. I think what we should synchronize is.
should I stop?
Rita, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Vin.
Yeah, I think we're looking at it wrong. So if we synchronize the create index searcher, that would mean we're synchronizing the the operation to get the index searcher. When what to synchronize the read operation, that way when two thread is trying to do read, the first read need to be done first before the second read comes in again.
Okay. So are you saying that I should sync on this reader provider? This one?
No, I think I think you should synchronize on the read inside the default indexer, I
Default.
think.
Okay, let me just look at that code again. So which one would it be?
I don't
Can you
see
guys
it.
see my screen? No? Okay, I'm just going to
No.
share it again. What happened? So, can you see it now, Vin?
Yeah, I think you should oh my god, there's a lot of get objects. So you probably need to synchronize a bunch of them.
All of the get objects?
Well, if they call a different get object, then that's not gonna help too.
Kumar, is this where this thing fails? I think, yeah, the form save is trying to call update objects. And then with Kumaran and Vikas's issue. So yeah, I mean, I kind of spoke to another person as well, and it doesn't seem to be an issue. It has a quick fix. So maybe we should spend some time and think about it. And
Yeah. I need to have a look at this more, I think. I think we passed our time. I need to go.
sure, that's it from us. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about?
Hi, Simon.
We wanted to say hi to Simon.
Hi, Simon.
I'm sorry, guys. I need to go. I'll talk you over cyberspace.
Sure. Bye.
See you guys.
Ada, are you still around?
Yeah, I am. Martin is with me.
Who?
Yes, go ahead, Swetha.
So Ada, just to wrap up, I think with this situation we're pretty much stuck, and we've tried everything. So, what is your take? Like, what do we do next? What do you see happening? Because I think Monday we will only be talking to you our time in the evening sometime. So
Yes, I think the problem starts when we switch to use the master instead
okay.
of the fork one, and let me talk to Win. I hope that he can help us to get it sorted this weekend. I know that it's because he's also kind of occupied by other priorities. So let us just talk to him, and then we get back to you.
really would solve a lot of things for us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I'm going to continue to work on this, and I'll probably spend some more time on Monday on this. And is there anything else that was?
Yes, you're welcome. Yes, I think we will this. Let me go through some tickets this weekend, and that maybe we can start other discussions while waiting for Win to sort this out first.
Sure. And Vikas is going to be helping. Vikas is going to be pairing with Kumaran on the fingerprinting thing.
Uh-huh.
So and I can continue to pick up whatever JIRAs you have in your pipeline.
Yes.
So
Okay.
yeah.
I
So
would
sounds good. And,
go ahead.
no,
I would. Yeah, I will go through the tickets and triage some of them and then send you a list. So at least like while waiting for Win to sort it out, you can at least like to get those clarified between us. Yeah.
cool. Sounds good. So, and also a quick suggestion, like, I know you guys are facing some issues with the APK, but I don't know if it would really, I think it would be helpful if we could integrate the changes for the crash reporting, because if other people are testing it, the
Mm-hmm.
more reports we have,
Yes.
the information we
I
have, we
totally
can
agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that ticket need to be merged first because if not, it's becoming like the same problems just compounded.
right. Right. And
Totally.
observations don't need to be deleted with concepts. That's what we agreed upon, right?
Yeah, I will explain to Martin what that means, and then I will get back to you as well.
No issues. That's it from us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just FYI, we have a new member joined us. His name is Simon. I think he is in now. He is going to be stationed in Eldoret, Kenya. Simon, are you on?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, maybe just briefly introduce yourself, and we're going to work together as a team. Simon?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Think, I'm in the team. All I'm doing is to understand the issue so that next time, hopefully, I should be able to participate. So I'm happy to join.
Then technically we can hear you, but your voice is not. It's not very. It's muffled up actually.
You can hear. Probably my connection. I don't know.
Maybe I will
Okay.
just
Yes. What I'm saying.
maybe I just start the mail and then just introduce that way, and we'll check again the email.
Okay.
So just send an email to the mUzima email list so that people can know who you are. The connection is a little bit disconnected at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you guys. Bye.